Hey you guys, I hope everybody is doing really well, or as well as can be expected. I had a pretty good day today, other than being just a bit like fatigued and stuff like that. My normal. But tonight now I'm actually really sick right now. It's just like spasms, pain, headache. Earlier I had a little bit of vision issues, having some stomach trouble. I'm really nauseous. I usually do get really nauseous due to the high pain level. So I'm just trying to, stay sane, really. A lot of times when I'm this sick, I feel like I'm just gonna go out of my mind at any point. There we go. I feel like I'm gonna go out of my mind at any second because it's just too much. I need a break. So I'm just gonna talk a little bit. I don't really have anything real specific to talk about, but some things have been going on in my life and I'm just gonna share them with you. I'd like to share my journey, my health journey, and some of my real life stuff too, So lately I've been hanging out with my daughters and my grandkids a lot, which has been really, really helpful for me. I actually do so much better when I'm around family. It kind of takes away that bullshit that clutters my brain, about being sick. I don't. Distraction is like really, really good for me. Otherwise, I usually do kind of sit there and think about, the pain or how sick I am, or, oh my God, I've been sick this long, or it's been this long since I've had a good day. What is happening? And I'll just fall down a rabbit hole. So I need distractions because that can happen to any single one of us, but it's really good to have distractions. And some days you can't get away from it. You're gonna just kind of go down a rabbit hole. And I honestly think every once in a while we need to kind of feel everything. We need to realize everything. We need to cry, have that release so that the next day, or when we're done having a day or two of the bad days, we are kind of built back up. You know what I mean? You have that release, and after that you just feel stronger and you're more motivated, more positive. So I think it's really important to have those down days occasionally. Obviously you don't want them all the time because that's too much. But I've been hanging out with my family more often, and that's been my distraction, that and music, and I've been absolutely loving it. I am really starting to get nervous about going to University of Michigan next month. They have a functional neurological center and a seizure center there, which is where I'm going. And I'm starting to get nervous because I've been so many places for my illnesses. I'm gonna try to say this without crying. I've been a lot of places to try to get answers for my illnesses, and I haven't been so lucky. So I am having a little bit of doubt about how this place can actually help me. Is it just going to be a waste of my time, a waste of the money? I have a GoFundMe and people have been donating to it, and I'm so grateful for that, because honestly, if it wasn't for that, I would not get to go and do this and have a chance at possibly getting some stability in my life and being able to just increase the quality of my life, which is what I really, really need to do. But yeah, I am having like a lot of doubt that I'm gonna go all the way there. It's 16 hours one way, and so it's a 2-day drive because we're driving. And I'm gonna get there and we're gonna talk about stuff, and I just have this feeling they're gonna suggest the same types of things that I've already done, and it's gonna be a waste of time, and I'm gonna come home empty-handed again. So my fingers are crossed that it is not going to be like that. Like, you know, something's got to give. Some place, somebody has got to be able to help somehow. So that's what I'm hoping for. I've been struggling for a really, really long time. Just to quickly reiterate, I'll tell you, I got sick back in 2011, 2012. I'd say 2012. I got sick in the summertime of 2012, and it started off with Lyme disease. And I had it really bad. The symptoms came on so suddenly. I was really, really, really sick just instantly. And I doctored for 3.5 years before I was diagnosed with chronic neuroborreliosis, which is Lyme in the brain. And I developed a whole mess of problems. Like I must have been dealing with at least 35, 40 daily symptoms all the time for years. And for that 3.5 years that I was doctoring, they kept saying, you know, your tests look pretty good. I mean, there's a few things that are a little low, a few things that are a little high, but nothing was like jumping out like, oh my God, this is what it is. So I just kept declining and we didn't know what it was. Finally, I got diagnosed with the Lyme disease. They put me in the hospital. They put the PICC line in my arm. I did medication through my PICC line for like 32 days the first time. And I started to get a little bit better, and they pulled the PICC line, and then within 11 days, I was right back to square one. It didn't fix me. It wasn't enough to fix me. So that was devastating. And I continued to decline for... I had Lyme disease up until 2020. So I got it in 2012 until 2020. I was deathly ill that entire time. Hospitalized a bunch of times. ER visits, tons of ER visits. Years of being bedridden, in a wheelchair, and I lost a lot of friends, and I didn't have that much family or anybody's support. My music dreams were basically stopped completely. Everything just stopped, and everybody else's life all around me just kept going, and it's really hard. Like, I still deal with the sadness of it that I, you know, felt from it. It was nobody else's fault. It's not the point that I'm trying to make. It just, the way it affected me was really, really bad. And, anyways, in 2020, I got into remission with the Lyme disease at that time, but I also had, some co-infections of Lyme disease that also made me very sick. I can't even remember the names of them. Babesia, just a bunch of weird names. And I also had breast implants at the time, and so I was diagnosed with, breast implant illness. So my breast implants were making me sick also, along with the Lyme disease, and it was spreading, you know, poison and causing like a histamine reaction. Basically, it's a foreign thing in my body, and my body was rejecting it because my body is very, very picky. I'm not, but my body is. So I had to get the implants out, which, amazing, one of the best decisions, can't even talk, I have ever made in my entire life. I'm glad that I did it. I wish I would have never got them in the first place, but shoulda, coulda, woulda, you know. So I get them out, and my vision improved almost immediately, which was really, really good, because prior to that, I was almost completely blind. I could maybe only see like 30-40% out of my both eyes. So let's see, after that, and then you know, they kept telling me I was in remission with the Lyme disease, but I was still declining. like, yes, my vision did improve, and that was, I had energy for a little while there, and then it all just crashed. Like, everything came crashing down again, and no clue why. And then my neurological symptoms became worse and worse, and then I started having like these episodes. I didn't know what they were. Come to find out, they were a certain type of seizure. So, and it wasn't until just last year in September that I was diagnosed with functional neurological disorder and movement disorder, along with, like, you know, POTS, and I have vertigo. I have just a bunch of random things, a bunch of neuralgias, like fibromyalgia, like, yeah, a bunch of nerve damage, basically. And almost everything I deal with is, like, neurological, you know. Everything goes haywire. I feel like, what's his name? Jack Sparrow on the Jack movies. I can't think of what they are. The pirate movies. Pirates of the Caribbean. There we go. Jack Sparrow. In fact, a few of my family members call me that just because when I walk, it looks like that. Like I'm kind of half-assed drunk. Yeah. But anyways, I had to do, like, sorry, I have like a bump on my lip and it's just been bothering me. Anyway, I've had to do a lot of, like, different kinds of therapies and stuff, because FND is often, not always, but often caused from traumatic events, especially during childhood. Most of the time sexual events. And so I've had to do a lot of therapy. Like, we're talking a lot, like years of behavioral therapy, and then I did EMDR, just all kinds of stuff. And I've been doing physical therapy to increase stamina, to build my body back up. I have so much deconditioning from being bedridden for so long. And it's been really, really hard. There's been a lot of trauma throughout my whole entire life. I had a lot of trauma in my childhood. Never really processed it at that time, of course, because I was a child. Had a lot of trauma in my teenage years. I was a teenager. I was a little bitch. And I had gotten into drugs and alcohol and boys and, you know, just doing all the things I wasn't supposed to. And so I didn't really process it or deal with it in very positive ways. I tried to deal with it, but I was just self-medicating and, you know, stuff I wasn't supposed to, like I said. And the trauma even moved into my adult life. And it was just 2.5, 3 years ago that I actually stopped having active trauma, like physical abuse, living with narcissistic people, neglect, abandonment issues, rape, other sexual assault type stuff, sexual harassment, all of that. It's only been 2.5 to 3 years tops that I've not been dealing with that actively. But the damage that it did is still very much real, and we believe I had so much trauma, and this was crazy for me to hear from the doctor too, that I was just like, what? Like, how does that work? That doesn't make sense, you know? But I'm trying to trust him. He's a very, very good neurologist, and all the research that I've done also backs up what he says and stuff like that. But the trauma that I endured, it was so much that I think it actually broke me. Like, it broke my psyche. And it manifested from mental, because it was such a high level of mental distress, it manifested itself into physical sickness, which a lot of times trauma does that. Any kind of trauma. It's not just for people with neurological conditions or seizures. It's people with other diseases, cancers, or anything. Trauma often causes illness, disease, disorders, you know? So we have to really deal with our trauma. And I don't know anybody, or literally anybody, that's never dealt with a little bit of drama or trauma or something in their life that's just been a hard time for them. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's affected by things differently, but yeah, I've never met anybody that doesn't have something that they could heal from, basically. So with that being said, I'm still really working on getting, healing, I guess. Trying to find ways to heal. It's not always easy because I don't always know like which therapy to do or how to do it. Who do I talk to? What do I say exactly? This video stuff has been very healing for me. I'm sorry if it gets a little boring sometimes, but I am just trying to reach out to other people that have been through things like I have, that are ill like me or disabled like me, or just for me to be able to vent. Because like I said, I don't really have a big support system, so doing this has helped me a lot. And I am hell-bent on healing and getting better. I have so many important reasons for this. So, yeah. So that's basically what I wanted to stress tonight, I guess, is the power of healing. And just to kind of educate that, traumatic events that happen throughout your life at any time can absolutely manifest into physical illness and disorders and things like that. So, and as a defense mechanism, a lot of times we want to run from it, hide from it, not talk about it, that type of stuff. Don't do that. I did that. Don't do that. As hard as it is, and it is hard, as hard as it is to talk about the stuff and have to think about it again and see, you get the images and you just get all this stuff that, the PTSD bullshit. As hard as it is to go through that stuff a bunch of times, you have to. You gotta bring it all to the surface so that you can deal with it properly and then heal from it. And it takes a long fucking time. It really does. And any doctor will tell you that. If you put in the effort and the work though, and it's something that you really want to happen, you really want to heal, you're going to. You are absolutely going to heal. And that's kind of where I'm at. It sucks. When I have to talk about this shit, when I have to relive the memories and the images and just all of it, I hurt. I am hurting real bad. But I notice that each time I do it, it's getting easier and I'm getting stronger and I'm healing. You know what I'm saying? That part of me, that mental, emotional, spiritual part that broke, my psyche broke from all the trauma. That's the part that I'm healing. And when I can get that nice and healed up, then we're hoping, and this should happen according to, the science, my physical issues should start to slowly get better too. So that's the plan. I think that's about all I was gonna say. I don't just want to sit on here and bawl to you. So I try not to do that, but sometimes when I get talking, it just happens. But yeah, I love all you guys, and I hope that you are feeling really good. And if you need, if you need to talk, or you need a little extra support system or something, you can find my group on Facebook. It's called Functional Neurological Disorder Awareness, and Amber Ray Keller is me. I'm the admin of the group, or you can just look me up on Facebook. I'm Amber Ray Keller, and we can chat on there, or you can drop me a a comment underneath here, and I will support you the best way I can from afar. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just need to vent or whatever. You need a little advice. I will do my very best to do that for you, because I know what it's like not having a support system, and everybody needs one. It is a necessity. It is absolutely essential for healing to get through anything. So, you got me. I got you back. Everybody hang tight while we fight. I'd show you my muscles, but I'm wearing a hoodie because it's a little chilly. But anyway, I love you guys, and I hope you have a great rest of the week. I'm headed out of town tomorrow for some hydrotherapy, and I can't wait because I really like the water. Feels good. It's a nice reset for me, and that's what I call it, because when I do get in the water, a lot of my symptoms will just stop. They'll just go away, and I feel close to normal as I ever could, and it's really cool. So yeah, if you have any neurological issues or pain with like arthritis or muscle pain or anything like that, try water therapy. Just try it, trust me. Okay, I will see you guys again in probably about a week or so. All right, bye.